Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Manifest Tarot. I'm so happy you're here. It's a lovely day and I'm really excited to do this Your Week Ahead reading for you. I love doing these readings. I think they are they're both immediate and long-term, and they are an encapsulation of what is happening inside you and what is then, because what's happening inside you is then what happens outside of you. So this reading about you and where you're at encapsulates your entire world. It's such an amazing reading. So without further ado, I'm going to pick three oracle cards from this deck for our three piles. I'm not feeling, oh, there's this one. This one was being very bossy. And there's this one. Thank you, deck. All right, let's see what we have. Liberty. This is card number 2. This is coming up a lot. This seems like it comes up every time I use this deck lately. This is card 26, Transformation. This is a gorgeous card. I love all of the... Pink is my favorite color, so I love that. So I have to love this card. And I recently saw a bright green butterfly on a hike, and it let me get so close to it for this picture, and it just stayed there, so it was pretty exciting. So anyway, that's my butterfly story. All right, number 3 is card number 34, Abracadabra. Very majestic card, and look at all these. She's drawing. Is she drawing the constellations, or is she teaching about them? Very interesting. And look at her hair as a nautilus. What an interesting card. Abracadabra. So I'm going to pause for a moment and I will get some crystals and I will be right back. All right, we are back. Of course I had to go matchy-matchy with the crystals. So this is an obsidian heart to go with pile number 1. And this is a rose quartz crystal to go with pile number 2. Of course I can't resist going with the pink to match with this card. And then we have, for this card number 3, Abracadabra, I have this tiger eye heart. Have to match with these figures and their clothing or their hair or their whole thing. So pick whichever card you want by the number, the word on the card, the image, the feeling it evokes in you, whatever you think, whatever it brings to mind, or whatever feeling it evokes, whatever curiosity is sparked within you, whatever it is, that's your pile. And of course, if you want to look at more than one pile, that's obviously fine too. That's great. So I will leave the timestamps below, and I'm going to see you in your reading. Hey, pile number 1, welcome to your reading. I just have to say the birds are going crazy. It's a beautiful day out, so I'm able to have the window open. It's nice and warm, and the birds are loving it. Obviously, they're going crazy. This is your card pile number 1 has card number 2, Liberty, and this beautiful image. She's covertly sneaking a star to the bird. This bird is actually going to go and join the other birds in the backyard. There we go. And we have this obsidian heart. And we're going to put that up here. So we have these, no, wait, actually I have to put this down here. I have to put this down here because this reading goes like an arc overhead, over the head of the oracle card. So I have 2 piles here of tea leaves, and I wanted to show you, because I always check below, you know, I always check the bottom of the cards. I'm sorry, I always check the bottom card of the deck before I use it. So I wanted to show you these that came out. These are just the ones that after I use them, I put them away and I take them out, and these are the ones that were on the bottom. So it's wind chimes, peace and harmony, and tulip, great passion. So we have those. I'm going to jiggle the deck here and wake it up. So there's 2 from this deck, and whoa, there's 2 from this, not deck, this pile. There's 2 from this one and 2 from that one. So let's stack these up here. And we are also going to use these 2 decks. I usually use 3, but I just felt strongly that I wanted to only use these 2 decks. So let's take 4 cards from this deck. And this is the vice versa tarot. So this is actually the bottom of the deck because each card has 2 sides to it. So that's the 6 of Cups. So there's really no hiding the cards. So I'm going to really try to, oh my gosh, I can't believe that card came out again. I can't believe this card came out again. It comes out basically almost every time I use this deck. So I took 4 cards from this deck. And then I'm going to take the rest from this deck. Whoa, whoa, whoa. No, this, I'm so confused. This one and this one. And of course, we can take more if we need them. So we have your tarot cards and your oracle cards. So let's see what the first one is. Caterpillar, things will not always be this way. A change is coming. Talk about butterflies. This card for pile number 2 is after the transformation, and this is before the transformation. So if this concept speaks strongly to you, you might also want to look at pile number 2 and see if there's any messages for you for that pile as well. So obviously, the way we think about caterpillars and butterflies, this change is going to be positive. Even if you feel like your life is good, there's always something more you can, have and love and include in your life, right? Career. So this is something to do, at least in part, with your career. And since this came out one right after the other, we might be looking at a change for the better in your career. All right, months of the years, how curious. I'm so curious. Okay, September. So right now, as I'm doing this reading, it's April. So let's see what this means when we do more of the cards. So let's see what this last one is. Coins. Money will be coming to you. So that's really indicative of the change, the career, the caterpillar. So it seems like all four of these are really concerning the same thing. They're very tightly knit concept here. So September is 5 months away, and it's also the 9th month, and it's also in the northern hemisphere. It's also the fall, where I live. So all of those things, late summer, early fall, I would say. All of those things, and plus liberty. Money, for a lot of us, money means liberty. Money means feeling free, feeling unleashed, not even just unburdened, but unleashed, able to be free of everything. That's what money and wealth means to us. And this doesn't look like a minor thing, because this caterpillar, what is going on with the caterpillar? The caterpillar is being reborn into a second life. There's barely anything the same about the resulting butterfly. The butterfly is completely different from the caterpillar, just like the tadpole and the frog. If you look at a tadpole and you look at a frog, logically you would think there's no way that they are the same being, that's just a, quote unquote grown up tadpole. For a human, for instance, even a little baby, a newborn infant, you can see logically how it can grow up into an adult human. For a tadpole, you can't logically see how it's going to turn into a frog. For a caterpillar, you can't logically see how it's going to turn into a butterfly, but they do. So you might not be able to logically see how your life is going to transform career-wise, money-wise, big transformation pretty soon, seems like, and being so free. But that doesn't mean that it is not true. That doesn't mean that it will not be true. So there's your reading. Now, seems like a total reading here for, it seems like a complete reading, a mini reading. So your first position here, the first 3 positions, if you've never watched a Your Week Ahead reading, it's your recent past, your present moment right now when you're watching this, and your near future. So the first card is this 2 of Pentacles. That's your recent past, finding some sort of balance. But I'm not going to read them until I see all of them. As I said, your second position here is your present moment. So that is the Five of Cups. This is the front. Look at the little crab. And this is the back. The rose was hidden. There's a bridge on the front and a rose on the back. All right. For the third position, that is your, as I said, your near future. Another rose. Oops. So this is the star card. That's the front. And then in the back, here's the Silver Surfer. Here's the Silver Surfer. This is the person, maybe, that she is manifesting. She is bridging. She's the present moment. She's right now, she's bridging your past and your future. Okay, I'm gonna not read things until I've got all of them out. So your next card is advice. And of course, since it comes right after the recent past, the present moment, and the near future, the advice is really for the present moment and the near future. The advice in this reading is very immediate. So let's see what the card is. I tried not to look, but when it came out, it's so distinctive that I knew it was the World. So this is the World card. Very interesting. So let's see what we have as well. So these, how many cards did I take? I took 5. So we have 3 more positions. So the next card is your 3D. It's anything to do with your 3D. It could be a person. It could be a group of people. It could be a place, an idea, a concept. You know, like anything in the 3D, that's symbolized by this card. The Ace of Pentacles. So we have a mirroring of this, the new beginning. The new beginning. What happens? Oh gosh. See, I'm gonna stop. I have a big, I'm gonna put this here because I have a big thing to say about this, but let's see. All right, so we have 2 more positions and each one gets 2 cards. We have the next to last position is what might help you and or what might hinder you, and a lot of times this is at least partially hidden from you, pile number 1. So let's see. We have the 9 of Swords, your fears. I love his bedspread. Look at how nice that is. More roses. There's something about roses here, and you, pile number 1. Yeah, pile number 1. So what's the second card? The 2 of Cups. This is the romantic love card. I have so much to say about all this. All right, so these final 2 cards are the final position, and this is an offered resolution. It could be, you know, resolution, final outcome, although nothing's ever final, you know, but an outcome, depending on what you do and depending on what you're aware of and what you're allowing yourself to be aware of. This is an offered a possible outcome. The Queen of Pentacles. Here we have more career, money, liberty, happiness here. Queen of Pentacles, and more roses. There's a lot of roses in your reading. So that's card number 1, and I'm so curious, what is this next card? The Death card. Wow. And is this a rose, I wonder? Well, obviously, I have so much to say about this. And this Death card, when I was like, when it came, I was like, that's weird. but it completely makes sense. When we talk about this death card is going to completely make sense. All right, let's start at the beginning with your recent past. You, pile number 1, have been finding complete balance in your life. Maybe not complete. I shouldn't say complete because that didn't sound right. When I said it, it didn't sound right. But in at least one major aspect of your life, you have been finding balance. And it's taken a long time. I have to say, it's taken you a long time to do this. And you've worked really hard. And you've been so diligent. And I applaud you. I'm going to applaud you right now. Good job, pile number 1. I'm applauding you right now. And since this is a money, kind of money heavy, abundance heavy reading, although there is definitely a love aspect to it, you're finding this liberty and this freedom from, what is it? Is it worry, pile number 1? Are you finding freedom from worry? Let's look at the back of this. This is such an interesting card. This is one of the most interesting cards in this deck for me. So look, this, he's doing something pretty magical. He's allowing these pentacles to, levitate. There's something going on here. He's really got some magic going, but other than that, this scene looks very normal. It looks like a normal day, nice day, a nice day, pleasant day, a little breezy, but otherwise pretty normal. But then when you flip it over, there's like the most magnificent sunset ever created, and it's just everyone, all of these people on the balconies should be staring agog at the sunset. They should be saying, this is the sunset to end all sunsets. We love this sunset. It's the most gorgeous. We're going to go inside and grab our, whatever, 16th century iPhones and take some pictures, whatever. I'm going to paint, that's Rembrandt. I don't know. I'm going to paint this sunset right now. But that is not what they're doing. They're ignoring this sunset to end all sunsets. And they're staring at this person. They're staring at you. You are being so... mesmerizing might be the right word. You are being so... you're such a powerful creative force right now that everyone's ignoring even magnificent things to look at you, because you are even more magnificent. So this is pretty standard to the Two of Pentacles. This brings some huge meaning to it, that you are transforming into this mesmerizing character. And look, it looks like you're doing it pretty effortlessly now. You're even only standing on one leg. You are completely effortless and you're enjoying it. So whatever is going on here, I have plenty of space, so I'm going to move these around. Whatever is going on here, this is not being done, this newfound wealth and this career advancement and this pretty soon, this transformation, it's not going to be full of work and worry the way it has for you in the past. It looks a lot like all your worry, or most of it, like the majority of your worry and your hard work is gone, and now you are going to start reaping the benefits. Reaping the benefits of all your hard work, pile number 1. Good job. So, what is up with your present moment. Oops, your present moment. This is such an interesting card. This is a pretty standard 5 of Cups. There's the 3 cups in the front, and they've been tipped over, and all of their contents have been spilled. And even though there's 2 cups that are filled, we presume, in the back, this person is only staring at what they've lost. And even though the crab is showing, or is this a scorpion? Actually, it's a scorpion. Ooh, creepy. Even though the scorpion is saying, hey, I love this cup. Hey, thank you for spilling all this and all these contents in this cup and letting me live in this cup. This is awesome. I love this. That's what this scorpion is saying. Even though the scorpion is trying to show this person that this cup is still really great, this person is just bemoaning the lack, the loss. But they're ignoring not only, and we wonder what this bridge is. What is this bridge? Is this bridge the this bridge the transformation bridge? Have they almost made it? Were they carrying all 5? Are they a waiter? Were they carrying all 5 of these cups? There's a little garden party across the bridge here, and they were carrying all 5 of the cups, and they spilled 3, and they're just so upset. We don't know. Anyway, that's quite a story I have right there. But on the back, we see that this person is ignoring not only the 2 cups that are still filled, presumably, they're also ignoring this rose. And we know roses don't grow like this. They grow in a bush. A rose would never grow out of the ground singularly like this. Well, to the best of my knowledge. I mean, I've never even heard of anything like this. So let's just say it's impossible. So someone left a rose for them, and they're ignoring that too, and they're presumably ignoring the person. Maybe the person has already gone across the bridge. Maybe this person is their boss. Their boss is saying, hey, don't worry about it. Just go get these filled. Just go refill these. It's not a problem. Just go do that and come back and go across the bridge and whatever. The boss left them a rose, or maybe their love interest left them a rose and said, don't worry about it. Come on, let's go. But the person is still staring at the 3 cups. So this person is creating disaster out of a circumstance. This person is creating a disaster out of a circumstance, even though other circumstances are saying, don't worry about it, just move on, it doesn't really matter. This person has decided that this circumstance is the end. This failure is the end. This loss is the end. So what in your life, pile number 1, have you or are you, well, it's not have you, this is the present moment. What circumstance in your life are you still thinking that way about? This is spilled, therefore it's the end. There's 0 way I, pile number 1, can refill these. There's 0 way I, pile number 1, can just take the 2 that are still filled and, move on. There's 0 way I, pile number 1, can be absolved from the sin of spilling these 3 cups. You could refill the cups and then you could enjoy the contents more, even. This is the near future. So, talking about cups, she is refilling these cups. Obviously not literally in the artwork. She's refilling these cups. And in like this endless moment of refilling the cups, they're always going to be filled. She's always going to have enough to refill a an infinite amount of cups. So what do we have on the back? Another rose. I don't think there's any roses in this, but let's see. There's no roses in this one. But let's see. We're going to count how many. We're going to make sure to notice how many roses we have. We have a rose for you. And we have this Silver Surfer here. So she's really manifesting. There's no... See the star? This is the star card. I already said that, but this is a star card. And all the stars are out in this side. But on this side, it's covered in shooting stars where all the wishes that you could ever possibly want are all coming true here. You're wishing upon a shooting star, and they're all going to come true. That's what this is saying to me for you. You've got this person, this Silver Surfer that you're manifesting. You're in the act, in the near future, of embodying the person that can do this comfortably. Look at how comfortable she looks. I mean, hopefully it's really nice and warm and not chilly, but she looks just completely not just comfortable, but assured. She looks very assured, self-assured and sure of herself, and just trusting and knowing that what she is doing is the right thing, and it's working out, and everything is great. You know, that's what this is saying to me. So in your near future, going from everything's bad to everything's great in your mind. And that's quite a feat. I mean, you don't have to, and that's the thing, pile number one, you don't have to say, oh, something's going to happen good that's going to allow me to jump from this to this. But really, the only thing that can allow you to jump from this to this is you, pile number one. And excuse me. And then we come to this immensely interesting world card in the position of advice. And first of all, well, let me look. Are there any roses? No. So this card is a pretty standard world card. I mean, front and back, there's not really any surprise in this card. Well, except that this is maybe a laurel wreath or something. Like, maybe it's laurel, like victory. But then on the back, I didn't notice this at first. It is a snake. You see its head and its tail. It's an Ouroboros snake in the back. I didn't notice that before. But this in advice is very interesting because it is actually telling us exactly what I just said. It's telling us that you are, I don't want to say allowed, because the only person allowing you to do anything or entity or whatever is you. You, pile number one, are allowing yourself. But you should just trust in yourself. And this to this and this to this is exactly what you're supposed to be doing right now. And the only person that can judge you, even for being here, it's fine if you're there, if you stop there momentarily. And it looks like in the now moment, you have stopped there about something. The poverty mindset, the only seeing what is negative or only perceiving something as disaster. No one else is perceiving it as disaster but you. And therefore, if you continue, then everything will turn out as a disaster. Everything. But if you say, no, that's not me, and you change from this to the endless cup being endlessly refilled instead of the cup being permanently empty, then you go to your advice. As I said, advice from the World card is keep going, keep moving forward. I'm trying to say it as in the best way possible. Even if you made this mistake here, spilling the cups, and even if you made the further mistake, or even if you compounded your error, I don't know how to say it. I mean, I'm just going to say it. Even if you did that, even if you spilled the cups, and then even if you compounded your error by just having this like 2 days of just staring at the cups and saying, oh, this is a disaster, I'm never going to recover from this, blah, 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 all this. I don't even want to say those things. I don't even want to say those things. All the things that you might say. That was fine. Just go on, and even the way you're thinking now, here in the near future, and the advice, even the spilling of the cups is going to turn out to have been good. It's going to be good. It's like, oh, somebody mistakenly poured out some dirty dishwater instead of the white wine, and they say, oh my, and they're running after you, and they can't catch you, and you're blithely bringing this, tray of 5 cups of dirty dishwater, and you spill them, and you're thinking this was a disaster, but really it was the dirty dishwater that you thought it was this priceless bottle of white wine, and it was really the dirty dishwater, and you would have been, in serious trouble if you had served that out. That's just a silly story, but I'm just saying. So even if you made this mistake, quote unquote, it's still going to turn out good. And it's the reason why is because of your mindset here and here. Near future advice. Keep going forward, even if you had the moment, even if you compounded your mistake of dropping the cups by having 2 solid days of negative feelings, negative thoughts, negative mindset, you're still gonna win. Just keep going forward. Look for approval from inside of you. Look for approval from yourself, because in the end, that's the only place you get approval. Pile number 1 is from yourself. So then we come to the 3D, and this is the Ace of Pentacles, and it's mirroring this down here. I hate going out of order, but I'm gonna just have to echo this. These are all connected. I don't hate going out of order in other readings, but in the Your Week Ahead reading, it flows more, but it's just this idea keeps coming up. And this is actually another metamorphosis. If you think about it, from this to this is a huge metamorphosis, right? So your 3D is there's a renewal. And oh, look at, there's roses in here. Look at all those roses. So we have 1 rose, 2 roses, 3 roses. So very interesting. And the Ace of Pentacles, this new beginning in your career / abundance, is a caterpillar to butterfly moment. I mean, there's something in your 3D very soon that is a caterpillar to butterfly moment. And the catalyst for this, pile number 1, is your butterfly moment internally. If you have your butterfly moment internally, then the butterfly moment comes externally as well. it's inevitable. If it comes from you inside, then it pushes out. We're going on. That's like just point blank. That's what that is. So we have what might help you and what might hinder you. And first of all, this has roses, obviously. And then let's see. Oh, yep, more roses. If you can see on, he has a little thing of roses. So just to let you know, we have, there were no roses on here. A rose here. A rose here. Roses here. Roses here. Roses here. Roses here. And let's see if even the death card has roses. Let's see. Oh, I'm not sure if those are roses or not. They don't look like it, to tell you the truth. Could be. That might be. This might, I don't think this is a rose. But anyway. So what might help you or what might hinder you? This is where the interesting thing, there's so much of this is the money and career and abundance. Just abundance. Because remember that even this first card, this is your recent past, this is a Pentacles card. It's abundance. It's money. And it could be career, obviously, which is often very tied to the abundance issue. You have two choices, and this is romantic love, although it could also be a choice. I mean, if you really don't have any interest in romantic love, or it's just not a concern to you at all, the Two of Cups could be said to be a choice about, all the twos are choice cards, so it could be a choice coming up about another topic. But for the vast majority of you, there's a strong love undercurrent in this reading, and it's encapsulated in these two cards, in this what might help you, what might hinder you. So the Nine of Swords this is the after tarot. This is, oh, why didn't I think of this? There's roses on the back of every single one of this deck. So there's roses here, 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 and here on the reverse. Oh, and here. So even more roses. But this is the after tarot. And in the original, not original, but the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, this figure is laying down. He's dreaming, and there's no dragon. It's just the swords and him laying down. But now he's had this nightmare, and this nightmare image is crawling down the wall. Very creepy. I mean, if you think about it, that is creepy. We don't know. It looks like he's awake now, and he actually sees. He's dreamed his disaster into life by breathing life into his fears, by concentrating on them, by believing them. So if a fear thought comes into your mind, pile number one, if you think a monster is going to come crawl down my wall at night and attack me, that's a silly thing to say, right? But if you keep thinking it and thinking it, a fearful thought, it's going to manifest in your world. So he's actually manifested this fear into reality. So number one, I have something to say for you. Two things to say. Number one, if you do have fearful thoughts come in, you can just say, I don't identify with that anymore, and put it out of your mind. Even distracting yourself from like physically is fine. Doing something else, not even thinking about it, that's the way to make them go away. And don't just ignore them. Don't give them any credence. And number two, he is finally fighting back against his fearful thoughts. He's finally woken up to the fact that he is fighting back against his fearful thoughts, and he's going to slay that dragon. That's what this is. And the love that he has been afraid of is now available to him. That's what, so what it looks like what might be hindering you is actually what's helping you. Finally waking up to the fact that you have to fight all of your fearful thoughts, slay your dragons. That is what's helping you to come to this love moment, this beautiful, all-encompassing love. And this cat's so cute, just by the way. So let's come to this final position. Oh, it's crooked. We can't have crooked cards. There's so many crooked cards here. So let's come to this final position. Pretty funny. We've got this Queen of Pentacles, and we've got this Death card. But I'm going to take this Death card first. Of course, like, ooh, spooky, death, ooh, oh my gosh, wow. But for this Death card, what needs to happen to this caterpillar to turn into a butterfly? Seriously. The caterpillar needs to basically die. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm, whatever. I'm going to tell you, I think that from what I remember, the caterpillar basically has to liquefy in its little cocoon and then be transformed into the butterfly. It doesn't just shrink and grow wings and, somehow maintain its innate caterpillarness. It basically dies and is reborn in this little cocoon. So the death has to come before the transformation. The death has to come before the transformation into the Queen of Pentacles with all of the comforts, all of the wealth, all of the everything that you would want. The death has to come before the transformation. And this is mid-transformation, and this is final transformation. And this rebirth, this new beginning of tons of pentacles, tons of money, has to come after the death. And I just want to say that doesn't this look like some sort of like major celebration here in the background with this big archway and the roses, and it just looks like a party. I'm just saying, it's not just money, it's what money can do for you and the pleasure that you can get. And the liberty and the liberty and the beautiful feeling of freedom that you have. So this pile number 1 is your reading. Thank you so much for joining me. This was a gorgeous reading. Thank you so much. I am so happy you joined me. Thank you so much for all your likes, your shares, your comments. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any future readings. I know I'm going to see you very soon. Bye for now. Hey, pile number 2, welcome to your reading. You chose this gorgeous card, number 26, Transformation, as well as this rose quartz crystal heart. All right, so without further ado, let's get right into it. We have these 2 piles of we have these 2 piles of tea leaves, and I only put them into 2 piles because they're so as you can see, they're so squirrely. They just like to leap around. So let's put these here. And I have 2 decks that I am using for our reading. And this one, this is the Vice Versa Tarot, and I just want to let you know that this is the back and this is the front. Each card has a back and a front, so that's why you can see the artwork on it. No matter which way I show it, it always has the artwork. So I'm going to pull 4 cards from this deck. I'm going to try not to look. There's that. There's that. That and that. And then I'm going to pull 5 cards from this deck. So we have these 2, and let's see. We have these 2. Oh wait, no, 5. All right, so let's see what we have. Success, yay! Success at whatever you are wanting. Archway, new opportunities, possibilities, and paths opening up. Very nice. Very connected. Lightning, control your anger or you will be sorry. Wow. Pale, time to get out of a situation. So that's interesting because you have to get out of a situation to get into a new situation, right? If you're in one situation and you don't like it, you have to get out of it to get into a good situation. Very interesting. All right, so if you've never seen a Your Week Ahead reading before, it's the first 3 positions are the recent past, the present moment, and the near future. So let's see what we have here for this is the recent past. This is the 3 of Wands. So this is the front. Pretty standard. I mean, you know, the figure's pretty standard, even though, of course, he's standing in this barren expanse, right? He's standing in front of this barren expanse, but the back is him stepping out of this forest. We didn't have any. We had the smallest little hint of this little, basically little tiny bit of greenery here. That there's this burgeoning forest in the back. So we don't know what he's going to choose to do. Is he going to choose to go back into the forest? Or is he going to choose to forge ahead in this blinding sunlight? Very interesting. So this next one is the present moment. We have the Empress card. The Empress. That's the front and that's the back. Look at this bird sitting on the shield with the birds on it. Very funny. All right, and then what do we have here? This is the near future. We have the Sun card. Wow. Talk about success and good things, new paths. I'm sorry, it says new opportunities, possibilities, and paths opening up. And look at all this. So this is the front, and this is the back. The Sun card. And now this next card is advice, and since it's coming right after past, present, and future, you know, near past, near future, you know, recent past is what I should say, recent past and near future. This next card is for the present moment and near future advice. So let's see what it is. Oh yeah, it's the Fool card. Nice sandals, by the way. Nice sandals, Fool. He has a little crown that he's just passing right by. And there's a cup. He's just blithely walking. And the dog, oh, so number one, the dog is not even paying attention to him in this one. The dog is just looking around, looking elsewhere. But we also see what is distracting him. You know, we're always thinking, why is this dude walking off a cliff? Right? Now we see what is distracting him. It's this shooting star is distracting him, and he's going to walk off the cliff because he's distracted. And this dog is not doing its duty of barking at this dude and saying, you're going to fall off the cliff. All right. So we have 5 cards left, and we have 3 positions left. This next card is your 3D. It could be anything in your 3D. It could be your, it could be a person. It could be a group of people. Anything, any idea, concept, anything in your environment. It is the 6 of Pentacles. I'm wondering if this is you in your environment with your new success. We'll have to see the rest of the cards. I'm not going to start reading things until I'm done looking at all of them, because sometimes it changes everything. So this next position is what might help you and or what might hinder you. And a lot of times it's at least partially hidden from you right now. So let's see. It is the Queen of Wands is the first card. And the Ace of Cups is the second card. Wow, pile number 2. You have a lot of new beginnings. New beginning, new beginning. New beginning, you know, precursor to new beginning, transformation. If you came here from pile number 1 to see the transformation, this is another transformational thing here going on, because pile number 1 had a huge amount of transformation in it. So for those of you who are watching pile number 2 that want to go to pile number 1, definitely you might get some more messages about this whole concept. So this last position is a potential final outcome. It is a potential based on what you're doing right now, based on what you concentrate on, what you want. And not only what you want, but what you concentrate on, what you believe you can achieve. This is the 10 of, oops, sorry, I banged the table with my elbow. This is the 10 of Wands. I'm so interested to see what the last card is, the Page of Cups. Wow, very, very interesting. Pile number 2. Let's start with the recent past. There's some excitement that you've had. There's some passion for changing your circumstances, and that makes sense for you, pile number 2. There's some passion and burning desire to change your circumstances. There's a not just desire, it is a commitment to doing it, a commitment to changing your circumstances, a commitment to doing what you need to do, even if it's forging your way from your comfortable forest of your you know, willy-nilly thoughts, of your willy-nilly assumptions into the plane of the barren, not barren in a bad way either. It is, you've uprooted all of these old thoughts that were holding you back, that were negative and self-hating and all of the things that you used to think. And it might have looked luscious, it might have looked wonderful, but it was so impeding your progress. You could barely escape this forest. And now you have escaped that forest, and now you can grow whatever you want here on this plane, because you have dedicated yourself to your own mind, if that makes sense. So that's your recent past, pile number 2, this transformation. And it's also what this lightning card is, this, you know, control your anger, or you will be sorry. It's not just not necessarily anger, it's, you know, control your thoughts, control what your assumptions are, or you will be sorry, because those assumptions will come true. Your assumptions create your reality. Your pail, your old situation, the spilled cup, or, you know, in this pail, whatever. You have to spill the old to be able to draw up the new. This is your present moment. This is your creation moment. This is such a funny, I love this little skull hanging out. This is your creation moment. This is your very creative power, pile number 2. And this is after you have decided to leave the forest for the plain. You see that you are now in the plain, and you have grown exactly what you want, and you are happy. You are happy, you are fulfilled in this place where you have assumed only the best for yourself and for everybody around you. You assume only the best. You assume that what you want is already yours, and it becomes yours, pile number 2. This is your near future. What a fabulous card to have for the near future. This is the Sun card, and you see, I'm going to stay with this analogy here. You see, you escaped this forest, this overgrown forest of things going on in your mind that you could not progress through. It was impeding your progress, and you escaped it, and you came to this barren plain, and then you grew what you wanted, which is your new thoughts, your new assumptions, and now they've come to fruition. They have flowered. They are completely open. These sunflowers, just think about how open and ready to receive these sunflowers are. They're huge, and they are completely exposed, and they flourish because they trust and know and understand that they can be completely open, that they can be vulnerable and be loved anyway. There's something that you have been keeping. There's something, pile number 2, that you have been keeping closed. So controlling your thoughts is one thing. Controlling your you know, quote unquote bad assumptions, controlling the assumptions that you don't want is one thing. But hoarding yourself away from other people in a way that is, how can I say, not daring to show your real self to other people is something to look out for. And you see this card, she has picked one of the sunflowers. So we're going to get to that in a minute. But this is your advice, and this is exactly what I was just talking about. There's number one, there's a net right there underneath. even if he falls off, they've already they know that a lot of people get distracted, so they put a little net down there, so he'll be fine. So we can just look at this without being anxious. We have the Fool in your advice card, and this advice is for the present moment and the near future. It's a very immediate advice for like the next week, and it is stepping off into your new reality and not waiting, not feeling like I'm not good enough yet, not feeling that you're not good enough yet, not feeling that you need to do more, not feeling that you are any negative thing. You just trust in yourself. He's trusting in himself. He's trusting that he is good enough to go on this journey. He's trusting that he is good enough for anything. He's trusting that he has done enough. He's trusting that his work here. He's trusting that his work has been enough, and it is. You have this success card. You have this new opportunities, possibilities, and paths. You have this transformation card. This is the card you chose. This is your transformation card. I'm sorry, this is your transformation card. This is your transformation moment. Then we come to this 3D card. This is what's happening in your 3D, in your environment. And you are paying out some of your wealth here. You're paying out some of your wealth. You're paying out these hard-won pentacles that you've gotten, and you felt like they were hard-won. You felt like they were maybe scarce. Maybe you felt like you didn't have enough money, but you are, I'm not sure if you are in the midst of this or if this is something you've been working on, but you're changing your mindset to say money is always flowing to me. I heard a saying the other day that I like. The world is awash with money. I love that. So that's a good mindset to have. The world is awash with money. And it's true. If you look around there, it's an abundant world. We have a lot of abundance in this world. So there's something in your environment that you are having to, or choosing to, or you are spending money. And it all depends on your mindset about it. You can think about it as, I'm trying not to say you can think about it as you are being forced to spend this money, or you are a little scared of spending money, or you can think about it as it's okay to spend the money because more always comes to me. That's how you can think about it. It's up to you, but this is in your environment. This is happening to you very soon. Of course, this is a your week ahead reading, so you are going to be spending money, and it's your mindset about it that is going to carry into the future. So we have this next to last position. This is what might help you and what might hinder you. So we have two strong cards here, the Queen of Wands and the Ace of Cups. First of all, to continue our growing journey here, we have the, the barren plane, the growing what you want, the barren plane of the mind, getting rid of the old bad thoughts, the germination and the growing with this Empress card of what you do want, and then the flowering, and then the harvesting. This is obviously what's helping you, because you're harvesting your sunflowers that you have watched bloom in your field, in your mind, in your pile number two, sorry, your thoughts and your assumptions. You've harvested them, and you are sitting on your throne here, making manifest what you have thought. You're bringing your thoughts into the real world with this. That's obviously what's helping you. That's obviously helping you, right? And then, success here. And then there is an Ace of Cups. There is a new emotionally charged beginning here. A cup that's running over, spilling over with emotions and love, obviously. We have this dove. Is there somebody that you have argued with, that you are seeking peace with, a new start with? This is coming into this time to get out of a situation, and new opportunities, possibilities, and paths opening up. So obviously, if you're getting out of a situation, that's the only way to get into a new situation. So don't begrudge this. Don't be scared of it. That's bringing this. And it's your assumptions and your your constant thoughts about something, your preponderance of your thoughts about something is what will manifest. And we have the Success card, but we also have a clear roadmap for you. It's not just success out of nowhere. It's success out of you. The success is coming from you, pile number 2. So what do we have here? This 10 of Wands and this Page of Cups. This is for your offered final resolution. But of course, I don't want to say final resolution anymore, because nothing's ever final. But you have the 10 of Wands and you have the Page of Pentacles, as I said. So let's go with this 10 of Wands. This 10 of Wands is so funny to me. Interesting. I shouldn't say funny. Interesting. Because the fight is over. The struggle is over. The battle is won. But he's so tired that he can't even really enjoy it. He can't enjoy it. He's too pooped. He's too tired. So what does this mean? It means that you might come to the success that you want at some point soon. You might come to a successful new situation, but be so tired that you don't at first realize it. So this is telling you, keep your open mind. You might be so married to the fact that you are manifesting that you don't realize, that you don't see, that you have manifested it. Do you understand what I mean? Don't get married to the self-concept of I am working on it. I am in the process of manifesting. You can claim I am that now. You don't have to claim that you are still manifesting. You can claim I am the person that already has manifested it. Do you understand what I mean? So for some, I mean, this might not, you know, some of you might be fine saying that, but others of you might still be believing that you have to work at something, you have to do more. And then this Page of Cups is coming off right after this Ace of Cups. It came right below it. What does this mean? It means that you are finding, for some of you, this might mean that you really are being approached by your love interest, your specific person, your person that you have been manifesting is approaching you very soon. That's definitely something that you might, that this might be saying for a lot of you. But it might come in a way, sometimes manifestations come in a way that we just don't expect. That's what this message is. Sometimes this is really telling us that your manifestation is right around the corner, because there's two warnings about, not warnings, but information about how it might come to pass. Because number one, this Ten of Wands might be saying that you might not even realize that it's coming in, because you're still concentrating on, I have to do this, you know. You might be saying that you are still in the midst of manifesting when it's here. This one is saying, hey, your manifestation might not come exactly how you're envisioning it, but it's still coming. That's what this Page of Cups is saying. Very interesting, pile number 2. So this is your interesting reading here for this week ahead. What an interesting reading. This was a very, it's like a roadmap, and it's also very specific. So it's like your success is coming really soon. This really is very rich and also very immediately successful, if that makes sense. Immediate, very, not immediate, it is, you know, it is imminent success. So that is your reading for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for all your likes, your shares, and your comments. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any future readings. Thank you so much. I know I'm going to see you very soon. Bye. Hey, pile number 3, welcome. This is your card. Such an interesting card, huh? Abracadabra, card number 34. What an interesting, I could look at it all day. Interesting illustration, and you chose this, look, you chose this tiger eye heart, and I left out pile number 2's rose quartz heart, so that has to stay with us too. You got 2 crystals. All right, so we also have some tea leaves. Oh my gosh. We already have 1 card. And then we have this one, this pile. merely to keep them from falling all over the place. That's the only reason I keep the piles separate. All right, so let's put these aside. We already have a rainbow, and I have these two piles of these two tarot card decks, and this is the vice versa tarot deck. I'm just showing you, this is the front of the card and this is the back of the card. That's why you're able to see the artwork on here. So I'm gonna do my best to not see which ones I'm pulling until I pull them. I'm really holding them vertically. Here's two, and then, oh my gosh, three, and then four. All right. And then I'm going to pull 5 cards from this deck. I should say 5. Ooh, gosh, 3, 5. I think that's 5. I think, let me see. Yep, 5. All right, so obviously we already saw what we had. We already saw this one flipping right out. The most difficult part of a situation is over. That's nice. There's something that you have been working on. There's something that you have been experiencing. What is this? Chain. Chain of events that will affect your life. Obviously. What is this one? Stork, news of a birth or a new business opportunity. Happiness. Can't get any better than that. Happiness. Or more succinct. Let's see. So the first 3 positions are recent past, present moment, near future. So this card that I'm going to pull out is recent past. The Knight of Cups. What's happening in your recent past? This crab staring at us. Very interesting. It's not too different front and back. It's just that there is the daytime scene and also the nighttime scene. You know, when these cards are like this, I feel like it's saying that this person is steadfast. Any situation, they're the same. They're there for you steadfastly. There is someone that has in the recent past been there for you throughout a difficult situation. So it's kind of saying the same thing as this. The most difficult part of a situation is over, but there's been someone who's been there for you no matter what the circumstances. So the next card is the present moment. This is such a funny card. So this is the 5 of Swords, and there's this, you know, there's a fight. There's a lot of fighting, but no one's making any progress. That's what this 5 of Swords is saying. Wands. That's what the 5 of Wands is saying. There's been some fighting going on, some one might say rivalry, or, you know, antagonism or something, you know. But this particular deck has such a funny interpretation of it. So this is what the standard 5 of Wands is, you know, a fight with no real progress on either side. But this, look at this. The reverse. So see, this is looking at the situation from one angle. From this angle, look at this. That's the real problem, not this little tiff between these two guys. It is that this giant volcano has erupted. So they're going to become allies, hopefully very soon, as they get out of here instead of concentrating on smacking each other with their wands. That's what this means. It means your present moment is you have to see, you have to understand, you have to accept. You have been concentrating in something in your life, you've been concentrating on the wrong thing, and you need to hurry up and concentrate. You have to concentrate on the right thing, on the correct thing. And only you can say what that is. And talk about chain of events that will affect your life, huh? So this next position is the near future. We have the Queen of Cups. Lots of abundance, in emotional abundance, emotional cup overflowing. Lots of, what can I say? Lots of, how can I say it? Like meeting this steadfastness by day and by night with your own steadfastness, your own by day or night steadfastness. You're having to meet this person's steadfastness with your own. And there might be something about like believing in this. And you know, they're separated by this fight, by this conflict. So maybe you too, oh, I don't know if you can hear it, but the neighbor's children are running around. There's might be this huge conflict that you think of as a huge conflict between you, but something is going to happen that brings everything into perspective. And this is actually the present moment. So something is happening right now that brings everything into perspective. Some huge moment. It could be on your side or it could be on this other person's side. That is bringing you together. And seeing, in letting you both see that you both are steadfast by day or by night. Very interesting. Pile number 3. Let me make sure that you can see everything. Yep. So this next card is advice, and of course it's immediate advice for the immediate moment and the near future. The 9 of Wands. So we have, there's been a conflict, there's been smacking around, there's been bruises, there's been dented armor, there's been wounds, head wounds, there's been a lot of action here. And of course we see the most difficult part of a situation is over. This fight is now over. So that's pretty standard for the 9 of Wands. The fight is well, actually, no, the fight is not over. The fight is almost over. There's just a little bit more to go, right? There's just a little bit more to go. But then we have what finally this person is realizing, this is what I'm fighting for. You have a very relationship-centric reading here. This is what I'm fighting for, this love, this affection. This person is thinking, this is what I'm fighting for. So you, pile number 3, your advice here is to realize not just accept, but remember, this is what you're fighting for. This is what you're doing. This is what you're doing all this for. So you keep your motivation. And the most difficult part of a situation is over. And then you have this happiness. So what is it? What is your happiness? What are you fighting for? What are you doing all this for? Keep that in your mind. Keep that in the forefront of your mind. That's what this means. All right, so we have 5 more cards. This first card, this first card here is your 3D. This is what might be, this might be a person, this might be a group of people, a place, a concept, anything outside of you. And it is the Chariot. Somebody has a lot of willpower in your world. Someone has a lot of willpower in your world, pile number 3. And the reason they have the willpower, the reason they have a lot of say in your world is because you're letting them, you're allowing this other person to have a lot of say in your world. If you want that to happen, then that's fine. But if you don't want that to happen, if you don't want this person to have a lot of say in your world, then you have to accept that you are the operant power of your world. You, pile number 3, are the only one with the ability to keep the power or give it away. There's somebody that you are still seeing, even in your manifesting journey, your entire manifesting journey that you've been doing for X amount of time, you're still seeing this one person, and it might be this person here that you've had this love-hate relationship with. You're still giving them power over you. You're still giving them the power to decide for themselves. And the only power in this world, in your world, pile number 3, is you. And you can either see them as having power or see them as how you want to be, and knowing that. You're either knowing that they have their own free will, or you're knowing that they are who you say they are. That's it. So you're either channeling the powerlessness, or you're channeling this awesome figure. This is why we have this awe-inspiring figure here, to show you who you really are. That's pretty amazing. I didn't really know why this was here. Now we know. That's pretty amazing. Okay, so for the final 2 positions, we have 2 cards each. This is the next to last position. This is what might help you and or what might hinder you. The Devil card. I'm curious because the Devil card has more than one meaning. And I'm going to take the meaning from whatever this card is. Wow, the 5 of Swords. The 5 of Swords, how interesting. The Devil card and the 5 of Swords. So this is, you are still, this is out of this Chariot. You are still feeling like you have to force someone or convince them of something or tempt them into doing what you want, forcing them into doing what you want. Or if you do make them do what you want, then they're going to be angry with you and be disgruntled. Get that out of your mind, pile number 3. If you're manifesting someone, you can manifest them and they will think it's their idea. You don't have to force someone. You don't have to convince them or bribe them. You don't have to let them have free will where they can either do what you want or not. You, pile number 3, let me put these down again. Pile number 3, get that out of your mind. This is who you are. This is the real you. This is the real you. Not the one who is begging, not the one who is pleading, not the one who is trying to convince someone, not the one who is anything. You are, through the power of your mind and the power of your awareness and the power of your decisions and the power of your assumptions, you create everything. And what you're creating is the person in the way you want them, not in the way you think they want, not in the way you, not in how you think that you are, how can I say this? I think it's, some of you are thinking, I, pile number 3, am, some of you are thinking that you are manifesting them against their free will, or you are manifesting them and they don't like it, or you are, those sorts of thoughts. You've got this conflict about, oh, they're not going to like it. Oh, they're going to do these things that I want, but they're going to do them resentfully. They're only going to do them resentfully if you think they're going to do them resentfully. See the real thing instead of what you don't want. See, this is your wake-up call. So your blam, your blam, your complete blowing off the top moment. Pile number 3. The only reason that things would be in conflict is because you still are hanging on to the conception of conflict. So let's see, this is your offered final resolution, possible final resolution. This is and anyway, there's no real final, nothing's ever final, but this is something that you are kind of aware of a possibility of, if you understand what I mean. The 4 of Pentacles, that totally makes sense. The 4 of Pentacles. And so curious, the Emperor. That is so amazing. This is two starkly different outcomes of basically the same person. Because look at this. I'm going to make them about the same size. They're pretty much the same. They're both these men that are clothed in these red robes, sitting on a throne with money, with pentacles, crown. But this one is convinced that he doesn't have enough, and or he's not ever going to be able to hang on to it, and or he's maybe not good enough. He's thinking maybe he's got this against others' free will, or whatever, all those crazy things. While this one is sitting in his power and he knows that this is his. So these are your 2 choices. This whole reading has been exactly what has been saying, exactly the same thing. It's 2 choices. You're either this or you're this. I like to make them about the same size. It's kind of funny, but you're either this or you're this. That's your choice. You're either scared or you're confident. You're either, wow, I just saw that they're both card number 4. Of course, this is the 4 of Pentacles, and this is the 4th major arcana. This is the Emperor. How much more starkly the same yet starkly different can we be? This is like the perfect pairing for you, pile number 3, to see what your mindset will do to create your experience, because they are pretty much the same person. I mean, not the same person. They pretty much have the exact same experience and the exact same things given to them, yet their final outcome is completely different because of their mindset. It's kind of nuts how perfect these 2 cards are for your final outcome. It's your choice. It's your choice, and it's so liberating. If you think about it, that is such a wonderful thing. It's your choice. Channel, pile number 3, channel this woman and her awesomeness. Channel this rainbow and this happiness and the good news. You know, the good news, the stork bringing the awesome news for you. This chain of events that will affect your life, you have forged this link by link. That's you. This is such a powerful and awe-inspiring reading. It's so wonderful. It's so like in your face, right? Wow. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Thank you so much for being here and being part of this reading, because this reading wouldn't be here if you weren't here. And thank you for all your likes, your shares, and your comments. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any future readings. I know I'm going to see you very soon. Bye, pile number 3.